Welcome to my channel Pharmacypedia. In this session, we are going to discuss about the data presentation for FDA submission. So we shall be discussing a brief overview about what are the different sorts of the data and how they needs to be submitted to FDA. So before starting with the session, those who are visiting my channel for the first time, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates. So, whenever any new molecule or any generic drug have to be sold in the market, it first have to get it registered from the regulatory agency. So, when we submit the documentation part for the investigational new drug or new drug application or generic drug, it has to be submitted in a particular format. There is a set guidelines established by the different agency and set protocol whereby the document has to be submitted. This is known as dossier. So the dossier is having 5 different parts. It is having 5 different modules. So previously they were going in a hard copy way. So since the internet system was not like that, so online submissions were not there. Previously the documents were submitted, the dossier was submitted in offline mode. But with the advancements of the technology, the dossiers have started being submitted online through the regulatory agencies portal. So when the dossiers were submitted in the offline mode, they were submitted in the format which is known as the CTD format, also known as Common Technical Document format. So this dossier comprised of 5 modules. Module 1 contained the information about the regional administrative information. Module 2 was the overall summary of the dossier. It covered not only the non-clinical overviews, non-clinical summaries, but also about the clinical overviews and clinical summaries. Module 3 was completely focused on the quality part of the dossier. Module 4 comprised of the non-clinical study reports. It comprised of all the reports performed on the animals, and Module 5 comprised of the clinical study reports. So with the advancements of the technology, the CTD, which is in the Common Technical Document, is now converted into the eCTD. So eCTD is basically submitted to the regulatory agencies, maybe FDA or other countries' regulatory agencies, and there is a set pattern, set protocols, set softwares which are being used for the submission of the eCTDs. So now next we move on to understand what are the data which is being submitted. We call it the study data. So when we talk about the non-clinical study reports or the clinical study reports, so clinical study data are the information which about a person in a clinical trial. So study data basically includes information about the demography or the details of the medical treatment or the descriptions of the participants' progress and other relevant information. In early studies, the same information is captured for animals and is called as the non-clinical study data. So once we have obtained these study data, they need to be submitted in the module 4 part and module 5 part. Next, we are going to discuss what are the different sorts of the submissions being done to the regulatory agencies. In my earlier sessions, I have discussed in detail about the IND submissions, that is the investigational new drug applications, that are the products which are intended to be distributed commercially, but before that, they need to obtain the permission for conduction on the clinical trials for on human beings. Then we go to the regulatory agencies for other types of submissions like NDA submission. So once you have received the IND for the new molecule, now you can proceed and go ahead for the conduction of the clinical studies. And once you obtain the desired results, then you go for the NDA submission. So we can also go ahead for the abbreviated new drug applications known as ANDAs submission or the biologics license applications BLAs. So all these submissions, and after their amendments or supplements or other reports, so what are the deficiencies being observed in the eCTDs, they are being followed and further documents are being submitted as and when desired by the regulatory agencies. So when we submit the data for the FDA submission, now you can understand we submitted in a particular format, particular protocol known as the eCTD. And now since it is eCTD, everything has to be submitted online. So FDA and the other regulatory agencies have established a network Since seeing the current circumstances, seeing the modernization, they have established a consistent general framework which allows you to submit your study data, including the templates for the data sets or standard names for the variables and other standard ways of doing the calculations with the normal variables. So FDA is basically instituting new requirements for data standards that will apply to most study data which is being submitted to FDA, Center for Drug Evaluation and Research. So this is the organization, this is the center under the supervision of FDA, which looks after the drug evaluation and research. This is known as CDER, Center for Drug Evaluation and Research. Another center which looks for the biologics is known as the Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research. So in brief, known as CBER. So these two centers basically work with the drugs, biologicals, and they look after all the submissions which have been submitted by different manufacturers. They review all the protocols for the different submissions, maybe it INDs or NDAs or ANDAs or generic molecules. So when we talk specifically about the CBER, that is the Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, these agency or CDER, Center for Drug Evaluation Research, these agencies may refuse for the NDAs or BLAs, biologics license applications, or refuse to receive for the ANDAs or any other electronic submissions if the data do not conform to their required standards, which is specified in the FDA Data Standard Catalog. So my dear students, you have to understand here is one very important thing that the FDA has established FDA Data Standard Catalog. This is the catalog which is very important, which is providing guidelines how the submissions have to be done. Like we discussed the different 5 modules for the eCTD format. So when it's talking specifically for the non-clinical study reports or clinical study reports, it has to be submitted by the guidelines which is established by the FDA. So if the company is not following any sort of the guidelines being established in the data standard catalog, then their submissions will be refused. So every manufacturer nowadays have to go for the online e-submissions with the way of the guidance which is established by the FDA, CBER and CDER agencies. Next, it has to be understood that CDER and CBER strongly encourages IND sponsors and NDA applicants to consider the implementation and use of the study data standards as early as possible in the product development life. So the agencies, these centers, CDER and CBER, wants the manufacturer to follow the guidelines from the initial stages of the product development. So it should not happen that any sort of the data is being missed out. For example, if you have to conduct some studies during pre-formulation studies, that has to be conducted at that time point only. If later on you come to know that you have to do the stability study for the packaging material which you have not done during the pre-formulation study, then it becomes difficult for you to submit the data. So in that case, they have provided the complete guidance, and that has to be clearly make understood by the companies to their development teams so that the product development can take place accordingly. So it will help them basically in the designing, conduction and analysis of the studies. Now let us try to first understand about the data standard catalog. Now this is being set up by the FDA, Food, Drug and Applications agencies, and so these data standard catalogs basically comprises of the study data standards which were developed as a part of collaboration between the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, the non-profit Clinical Data Interchange Standard Consortium. This is very important. CDISC, which refers to Clinical Data Interchange Standard Consortium and other stakeholders. So there was a collaboration between FDA and CDISC to ensure that the data pertaining specifically for the non-clinical studies and clinical studies may go to the FDA in a set pattern which will be followed by all the companies, and the standards have been established so that there is uniformity in the submissions through different manufacturers and it can be reviewed easily. Now, it is very important to note over here is that it was decided that sponsors whose studies start after December 17, 2016 must submit data in the data formats which is supported by FDA and listed in the FDA data standard catalog. So it says clearly those sponsors which have conducted the study after 2016-17 December, they have to submit the data to the FDA in its data format which is being mentioned in the FDA data standard catalog. Now, this is actually applies to NDAs, BLAs, ANDAs, and subsequent submissions to these type of the application. So, NDA is the new drug application, BLA biologic license applications, ANDA abbreviated new drug applications. For the detailed understanding of NDAs and ANDAs, you can refer to my earlier videos which were focused on these the parts. Then it was also decided that for INDs, specifically for the investigational new drugs, the requirement applies for studies that start after 17 December 2017. So 1 year relaxation was given for the INDs. For these NDA, it applied from after 2016 December, and INDs applied from the after 2017 December. So the study data must be in the format which is supported by the FDA. So whatever guideline has been specified by the FDA in the data standard catalog, that has to be followed, and through that only, in that format only, the data has to be submitted to the FDA. Now this, how it is going to help the FDA, that they can review the data easily. Since the whole system is online, the review process becomes very easy. So the data standard catalog lists all the data standards which is supported by the FDA as well as the deadlines. So the data catalog basically is supported by the data standards, have different sorts of the system for the submission of the different types of the information. For example, CDISC, which stands for the Standard for Exchange of Non-Clinical Data for Non-Clinical Data. So this is the SEND. SEND is used for the submission of non-clinical data. Then SDTM, this is the study data tabulation model which is used for the submission of the clinical data, which comprises of the study on the human beings. And analysis data model, ADAM, for analysis is for the submission of the clinical data. So you can see for submission of the non-clinical data, we have to refer and use SEND. Whereas for the submission of the clinical data, we have to use SDTM. For submission of the detailed analysis for the clinical data, we have to use analysis data model for analysis. Now these all details have been mentioned into the product development catalog which is established by the FDA. So the data catalog has to be referred before initiation of the product. Also mentions here about the report tabulation data definition specification, also known as define XML, for the metadata that accompanies SEND, SDTM and ADM datasets. So again, another software, define XML, has to be used. For further details, you can refer to the submission instructions provided into the study data implementation guides on the FDA website. Now, this is about the timeline. As I was discussing, that for the NDAs, ANDAs, BLAs, and master files, it was decided with the guideline which was issued in the May 17 that their submissions have to be done online into the standard format established by the product catalog mentioned in the FDA after December 17. It was also decided for the commercial INDs, investigational new drug applications, that the process has to be submitted in the online submission mode in the data formats provided by the product catalog after December 18. SEND data sets were activated after 2017. So my dear students, that after 2017 December, it was decided that all the submissions pertaining to NDA, ANDA, BLA or INDs have to be submitted by the guidelines and the frameworks like I've discussed, SEND and other softwares which will be having online submission through these gateways, and all the product development has to comply with the guidelines which is established by the FDA. So these are the different ways of the documentation of the submission of the data to FDA. Since the drug submission process contains a whole lot of the data, it is very difficult to summarize in a single presentation. But the point here is to understand the overview about the different types of the submissions, different ways of submissions of the online submissions, and different gateway. Now, it is very important to understand non-clinical and clinical data, specifically submissions, and you can understand the CTD. Hard copy documentation is no longer done now. The FDA and the agencies demand online submission through their gateway, so the review process becomes easy and the approvals can be provided on a fast mode. It is also being assumed that the FDA has the following procedures for updating the standards. They periodically publish its intent to begin supporting new standards and new versions of the current standards. FDA will give at least 1 year notice before a new version of the standard is required. So whenever any sort of the changes takes place, the manufacturer get the time limit of 1 year to actually understand those changes. So for entirely new standards, the notice will be at least 2 years. So FDA is basically supporting efforts to develop the clinical terminology standards for particular therapeutic areas within the SDTM. Now you should understand this SDTM. It will be updated periodically to include new and revised standards for specific therapeutic area. So you can understand that standards have to be revised as per the requirements, as per the demand, considering the safety and efficacy of the medicament. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel Pharmacypedia for getting further updates.